Okay, very good morning to all of you once again. This is our fourth class toward Python learning. Till our third class, we started with, we have seen the data types, what are the different data types allowed, and the different kind of print functionality which is allowed. And definitely, the different kind of print functionality, we will be looking at that later also when we work with the string. And we started with numbers, we started with arithmetic operations, different kind of operations we will understand. Now these operations which we will understand is not only for numbers, these operations work on other data types also. Okay, so because understanding numbers are not very difficult for you, right? Because these numbers are known to everyone, does not matter which field you belong to. So all the operators we will understand with numbers. Okay, so that you will be having a good clarity that what this operators does. Okay, fine. So let's just start. In Google Classroom, as I told you that you can ask your doubts here. I see one doubt from Sandeep already. This will be discussed today. Okay, and other than that, if you go to classwork, now this is something new added yesterday, class files. Okay, so whatever files we use, you have to see there is a drive link there. Click on that, and then there is a link to Google Drive folder, class files, right? Click on that on again. It will take you to this location where day one and day two, as we do not have, we have not created any file in day one and day two, so there's nothing available here. But in day three, you have the Python the hard way, which I have discussed that we will be using for practicing. And then the file which we have used for learning. So I have converted that ideally or saved that ideally into a .py file. So this you can take a look from here. Okay. And then self-paced material we have added in the class itself. And this is the same Python the hardware book. If you want to read it online, you can read it online from here also. And then the videos are getting uploaded on a daily basis. Now, if you see, I was talking about the thumbnail, right? If you remember, when I upload this, it looks like a red color of icon when this video is getting converted. But now, if you see, the thumbnail is available, right? So it means it is internal processing at Google server is done, and then this video is available for buffering. So that's all about Classroom. Let me share my ideally once again. Okay, so if you have any doubt from our previous class, let me know. There is one doubt from Sandeep, so I will discuss that. Sandeep is saying I face some problem with format command. This is not working properly. Okay, I comment. This is so you can read the program later. Anything after the hash is ignored by Python. Yes. So Sandeep, if I copy paste as it is what you have written, right? Yeah. So this is not an error. This is actually a gap in your understanding. I'll paste it here. So if you see now, see, if I run this, it is invalid syntax because this is starting from here, right? This is starting from here. If I remove the hash, right, let's see if we remove the hash, what happens. Then also it is invalid syntax. Uh, Is it because you have given a space after the F? Yeah. So it is not because of the hash. I was first thinking that it will be because of the hash symbol in between, because after hash, what normally hash we use for comments, right? But the moment you start using it inside this quotes, it become a string. Then hash will not be considered as a comment. But there was a space here after F. That's why it have to be with the string. Okay. So I will delete that question from there, Sandeep, because it is answered now.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So yesterday we were looking at the different printing techniques, right? So for example, I have A is equal to 10, B is equal to 3, and C is equal to A multiplied by B. Okay. So I have A 10, B as 3, and C as 30. I just want to print it in different format. There's some chat coming on in the. Let me check that. So Sneha is asking, I'm not able to install latest version of pycharm. Uh, Sneha, you can skip that for now. If you are able to open ideally, I am good with it. Okay. For current, okay. So for next few days, ideally is enough. Uh, and anyhow, to answer your question, yes, any version of PyCharm is fine. Any version of PyCharm is fine. Okay. Okay, so let me continue with this part. Now, if I want to print this complete by using these three variables, like I'll say print percentile d multiplied by percentile d is equal to percentile d, and then there is a mapper which is again a percentile symbol. After that, in bracket, you want to all the placeholders which you have created. You have created how many placeholders here? Three placeholders, right? And then what and all you want to pass there, you have to write inside this parenthesis A, B, and C. So 10 multiplied by 3 is 30. Now this is the integer way of doing it, right? Percentile D is it for integer. Now let's see, if I change value of C is equal to 10 divided by 3, C will be equal to 3.33335, right? Now I want to write the similar statement, but this time I cannot print percentile d, right? If I try to do percentile d, I will be getting answer 3 only, right? But I want 3.333, so it is now, see, I'm getting 3 only. I want percentage sorry, the decimal part of it also. See, I know that when I'm writing in ideally, it will be going to the bottom of your screen, right? um, So I was looking at the video, recorded video yesterday, and that is a problem which I noticed. That when I am teaching you in ideally, so whatever I am writing, it is going at the bottom of the screen. Um, so I'm trying to find a solution for that. There is a way to split this window, Python shell window. Okay, I will find that way, and once I find that way, I will be writing in that way. Okay. So for now, I know everything is visible very clearly. That is, visibility is not a problem. But yes, everything is going at the bottom of the screen. That is what I noticed, and I didn't like it actually. So I'll find a way so that everything will be in middle of the screen when I'm writing something. Okay. And if you find the way before me, that how we can split this window, the shell window, into two parts, just let me know. Okay. Um, okay. So let's continue. So now I want this C to be printed with decimal. So for decimal, what we have float. For float, we have percentile F. Okay. So now if you see 10 multiplied by 3 is equal to 3 point, and there are 6 3. So that decimal, how many decimals should be there, that is defined by default by Python. Because if you see, the value of C is having more than 6 decimals. But when you printed it by using percentile F, it is printing you only these 6 decimal values. It is by default decided by Python. Okay. Now, if I want to see only two decimal values, for example, I want to see only two decimal values. So, what I can do in percentile F, I can write point 2. Means after decimal, I want two numbers. That's all. Right. Now, if you see, the output is 3.33. Okay. Now, if you want to have one decimal, four decimal, or any number of decimal, this is the way you can change it. The point two need to be changed. So point, if I make it point one, so it will be giving me only one decimal. Okay, fine. So now in my ways of writing program and in my ways of teaching, I will never be using this percentile and all while printing the string number or anything. But then why I'm teaching you this, because maybe in a written code, with the code which is already available in any project or company, you should understand what these things mean, right? Because of that, I am telling you all these possibilities. Now the last example with this print, if I want to print any string, right? Definitely, that will be percentile s. Percentile s is a string, and then mapper percentile, and then here I will write, for example, I will say ethans. Ethans. So see, it will be printing ethans is a string. So percentile s is a placeholder created for a string, or is the container where only a string can come and occupy. Okay. Now in last class, when we were looking at identifiers, we said like identifiers are case sensitive. So this is the time I tell you now. I just got that I have not told you that. So for example, small e thans ethans, I am say, storing at 100, and thans ethans, I am storing 150 into it. Both are different values. Both are different identifiers, because Python is a case sensitive language. So small e thans ethans, that is storing 100, and capital E thans ethans, that is storing 150, because the case sensitivity. Okay. Now I'll give you another operator we will start learning now, and that is comparison operator. Okay. In comparison operators, there will be equal to, and then not equal to, and greater than, equal to, and less than equal to. Okay. These are the comparison operator we will be talking about. So definitely the first one is to check the equal. If there are two values which are equal or not, if that is what I want to check, I will be using the first one. The second one is not equal to. Now the people who are new to programming language or who are new to computer science at all, exclamation sign is mostly used as not in most of the programming languages, right? So when I see the second operator, it says exclamation equal to, it means not equal to. Okay, so and then greater than equal to and less than equal to. So let's do some operation on this. Let's consider number 2 is double equal to 2, then it's fine, it is true. If I say 2 not equal to 2, is it true statement? No, it is a false statement. So the cell prompt is telling me which statement is true, which statement is false. Okay, if I say 2 greater than and equal to 2, I will be getting the true value. If I say 2 less than or is equal to 2, I will again get the true value. Why? Because at least one of the condition is matching. We have two conditions there. It is greater than or equal to. So equal to condition is matching, right? If I say 2, uh, sorry, 4 greater than equal to 2, that is also true. Why? Because at least it is greater than condition is matching. And if I say 5 less than equal to 10, that is also true. If I say 2 less than equal to 1, it will be false because none of the condition is getting satisfied, right? So this is the comparison operators we have in this programming language, Python programming language. Okay, and then after that we have assignment operators. Okay, so do not take any note right now, because this file, when I will share this file, I'll make sure that all the gaps which I am putting in between, all those things will not be available in the file. You will get a continuous sequence file where you will get the theory as a string, and then below that you will see all the examples which we have discussed. Okay, so do not take any note or do not write anything, just concentrate on the learning right now. Everything will be shared with you. So assignment operators, we have plus equal to, minus equal to, multiplied by equal to, divided by equal to, and definitely on the top equal to. So these are the assignment operators. Now what are the let me explain this with a whiteboard. There's some chat. Sneha, okay. Now, when I talk about assignment operator, you have to be people who are new to programming languages. When I say a is equal to 10, right? There is an assignment happening. This variable is getting a new value, right? This variable is getting a new value. But when I say a is double equal to b, this is comparison. Okay, this is assignment and this is comparison. Here you're comparing if A and B are having both the two values, same values or not. So equal to and double equal to are having different functionalities. Okay. Now, when it comes to other assignment operators, right? Let's see it one by one. Plus equal to. So what happens when I say, for example, my A is already stored with 10 value. A is equal to 10 already. So I'll say A plus equal to 2. Then what will be the value of A? A will be 12. Why? Because it says that plus equal to means it will be doing two operations on A. First, it will be adding 2 to it, and then it will be storing the result into A itself. So A was 10 already, then it will be adding 2 to it, and then it will be storing it to A itself. So A will be what? 12, right? That is what this operator is doing. Similarly, if you see the minus operator, A minus is equal to 2, or A is 10 already, right? So what it will do, A is equal to 10 already. There are two operations, minus and equal to. So it will minus 2 first, and our result will be 8, and that will be stored into A. Okay, so this is how this assignment operator work, multiplication, division, everything is there. So we will see very quickly some examples. Uh, yes, is Nehal. That is correct. A plus 2 plus equal to 2 is equivalent statement as A is equal to A plus 2. Yes, correct. That is a correct explanation you have written in the chat. Okay. So now let's see some examples here. Variable is equal to 2. Okay. And I will print the value of variable. Variable is 2. Okay. Now, yeah, one more thing you have to notice here. Whenever I say I will print the value of variable, and then I do not write something like this. This is what I should write, right? When I say that I want to print a variable. In pycharm and anaconda, you actually have to write the print statement to print something. Because it is a shell prompt, it is an interactive session, right? It is an interactive session of shell prompt. So whatever I talk to this shell, right, I say variable, it tell me its value is 2. It tells me there, it is not printing it, it is telling me what is the value of it, right? But it is not how a normal programming world work. To print something, you have to print the use the print function. Okay, but here, as it is an interactive session, I just skip the print keyword, right? Okay, so we say variable plus equal to 10, and then variable was 2 earlier, now it will be 12. If I say variable minus equal to 2, variable is 12 right now, then variable will be 10. Okay, if I say variable multiplied equal to 5, variable will be 50. And then if I say variable division equal to 2, variable is 25.0. Now here it is important to understand, because division will convert it into float, right? So when I say variable is equal to divided by 2, it will be converting that integer into float. Okay, now guys, I will very quickly tell you that we have seen comparison operator, this is it. Okay, and then we have seen arithmetic assignment operations, this is this. Okay, now if you have any doubt, I will give you 1 minute of time. If you have any doubt, please let me know. Okay, no doubts coming in, fine. Now let's understand another operator, that is operator. Okay, is is operator. Now what happens if you remember? Okay, there is some chat coming on. Sir, some confusion with the single line and multi-line comment. Yes, Sandeep. Tell me, what is the confusion with the single line and multi-line comment?
Yes, sir. Sir, when we use single line command, there are no execution, no output.
Hmm.
But when we use multi-line command,
Hmm.
this like behave a string,
Yes.
and
That line is a strict.
at the end they give output
Yes.
some.
I got your question. I got your question. Yeah. So let me answer that. And it is a good question. Normally, people ask it when we start working with PyCharm. People ask that. So it is good that you have asked it already. See what happens when I say comment, right? This is not, this comment is associated with the Python language. It is not associated with any, this is not associated with any tool, right? But right now, what is happening, because we are using shell prompt, right? This shell is interactive. So when I write single line comment by hash, right, it does not, it is not, it does not execute it. But when we write multiple line comment by using this is actually a string. This is actually a string. Okay, but when we write the code in pycharm, anaconda, or when we create our modules, when we create object oriented programs, when we create classes, you see, everywhere you will be doing documentation, or you will be writing multiple line comments. In those programs, when you write this, right, triple inverted comma or triple double inverted comma and then multiple line comments in that, then that never get executed. Okay, so this is comment only, and this is a string also. I'm not denying that this is not a string. Yes, true, this is a string, because we are in shell right now. So whenever we write that, and shell is interactive, so we write a string, it reverses that string to us, right? But when you write this in anaconda and pycharm, when we create the modules, when we create classes, right, then you will see that this is not getting executed at all. Okay.
So we can say this is a documentation.
Yeah, this is part of our course. In some classes later, you will see me explaining underscore underscore doc underscore underscore. What is this, and how documentation has been done, how you help, how you rate the help section of any class or object, right? And how those documentation are stored in Python. You will see me explaining this, and when I explain this, these two things are interrelated. Yes, you can say it is like kind of documentation.
Okay, sir. When we assign a value for a variable with a string with double inverted commas and triple inverted, single inverted commas,
Hmm.
a difference both differ when we execute both.
No, come again. I do not understand the last line.
When we assign a value for a variable as a string,
Hmm.
when we use double inverted commas,
Yes.
when we have like a string,
Yeah.
but when we use triple inverted commas,
Hmm.
then it behave like a comment.
Um, no, the behavior is still is a string only. See, when we write triple inverted comma also,
Yes.
what is getting created is a string only. So it will behave like a string only, but the usage is comment. Behavior is a string only. So there are two things, right? One is behavior and second is usage,
Yes.
right? So the behavior will be associated as a string only, but the usage of this, the things under triple inverted comma will be as comment. Okay, so let me explain this. Let me explain this. Multiple examples will come on, right, when we talk about a string. So let me write something here. Student doubt, and below this, whatever I will be writing is associated with your doubt. Okay. So first of all, if I say string s is equal to, I write something with single inverted comma, I will say this is my string, right? And then if I print s is a string created. I can do the same thing with double inverted comma also. I'll say this is my string. Then I print s, that's the same also. But then no one has asked me in any of the batches. I explain it by my own, but no one asked me that why there are two ways. The Python developers, right? They are Python developers. When they thought of creating a string, why they have created it in two ways? One way was enough, right? So why normally they have created it into two ways? Because s is equal to, if I want to write I am Athens, you see the problem here? Your string, your string itself is having single inverted comma in it. I am Athens. I am is having a single inverted comma. Athens is also having a single inverted comma in the name itself. What happens? Now the program is not able to understand which single inverted comma is part of your string or which single inverted comma is part of the program. So it started here, ended here, and then it again started, again ended. I do not want it to behave like this. So in such scenario, I will say double inverted comma and I will write I am Ethans, and then it will work fine. See, because the moment when you have single inverted comma in your string itself, then you cannot use single inverted comma to create the string, right? So let me,
Sir, can we multiple line with the double inverted commas?
yes, no, you cannot. I will come to that point. I'm coming to that point. Just give me a few more minutes. So, for example, I am saying this is my string. I am Athens. That's all. It's a normal English string I have. I want to store it in a variable. If I use single inverted comma, compiler will get confused. It will say it is starting here, ending here. Then what to do with this? And then it is starting here again and ending here. Then this string in between will go where? Right? So in such cases where we have a string like I am Ethans, so we store it by using the double inverted comma so that the compiler will not be confused or interpreter will not be confused. It will be using like a start here and here. Fine. The other way around also is possible. If I say uh, name is Ethans, now in my string, double inverted comma is available. So how to store it in the variable? By using single inverted comma. Because your string itself is having double inverted comma in it. So this is why you have two different way of writing the string. So this was not the doubt of Sandeep, but this is I am explaining extra to you. Okay. Now let me come back to the program. If I say s is equal to single inverted comma three times, and I say this is a string, and then again three times string, this will work fine. If I say s is equal to triple inverted comma, I say this is a string, triple inverted comma. See, it is still a string, right? But if I say s is equal to triple inverted comma, this is a string, and then it is working fine, right? It is taking all the slash add is taking the next line actually. Do not worry about that much. This will always be explained to you when the time will come, right? Slash n is taking the next line. But can I write multiple line string or multiple line comment without this triple inverted comma? No, I cannot. If I try to do that with single inverted comma, s is equal to single inverted comma, this, I press enter to write is, it will be end of line and scanning for the literal, right? It will throw error for you. So if you want to write multiple line string also, you can use single inverted comma or double inverted comma three times. So this will remain string in all the cases. Even if you are using it as a comment, it will remain string only. So that is what I was telling you, that the property or behavior of this will remain as a string, but the usage of it is used for comments. Does that answer your question, Sandeep?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, where we were talking about is operator. I have not started actually that. I was just telling you that we'll do with is operator. I see another chat in the window. Manisha is saying, if we brace like, will it give the same syntax error? Yes, Manisha. First of all, that parenthesis, right? It has very special meaning in Python. So the parenthesis, the small parenthesis or square parenthesis or curly parenthesis, all the parentheses have very special meaning in Python. So you cannot use it anywhere simply like you have written in the chat, right? So when you see other data types, when I will start explaining other data types, you will see that the small parentheses are associated with tuples. Okay, so fine, yeah. Now is operator. To explain is operator to you, I will take the same example which we have seen in our last class. There are some more chat coming into, but let me explain this first, okay? Then I will go to chat window again. I am not reading that right now, okay? So for example, I have this as a 10. Definitely it will be having some ID or address, and then there will be having some reference. And I say that A is equal to 10. Actually, A is referring to this. A reference got created. When I say B is equal to 10, B started referring to this. A reference got created. This is how internally it is working. So if I say that ID of A is like some hexadecimal number, right? ID of A. ID of A means where it is referring to, this ID, right? If I say ID of B, that will also be the same hexa number, right? Both will be same because both are referring to the same place. So what happens when I say A is double equal to B? This is a comparison. This is a comparison of value. This is a comparison of value. This is not comparing the address where A and B is storing or the value of A and B is storing. This is the address, right? So how to compare if A and B both is pointing to the same address? For that we can use A is B. Okay.
क्या बोला दी तू?
Yeah. So A is B. This is what we can do. Okay. In this case, what happens? It checks if A and B both are referring to the same object or not. It can be any integer object. It can be a float object. It can be a string object. It can be anything, right? It can be any kind of object. Right now it is 10, so it is an integer object, right? So is operator is used to compare the identity or address. So I will not be calling it address anymore. I will be calling it identity. In Python, it is mainly known as identity. Okay. So is operator is used to check the identity of A and B, not the value of A and B. Okay. So A is double equal to B. This is the comparison of value. A is B is the checking of identity, and that is where we use is operator. Okay. Again, I'll give you 30 seconds of time to, because why I'm giving you 30 seconds of time especially for this operator and not for any other operator, this is important. If you do not understand this, let me know. I will repeat everything, and if you are understanding it also, then take a look out at this picture and digest it somehow. You have to remember what is operator is doing.
Sir, please repeat this.
Okay, I'll repeat that. And Divya is saying, what if we want to use both and a single inverted comma and a double inverted comma in a string? Hmm. Hmm. We want to use single inverted comma and double inverted comma both in a string. Okay, let's try something there. So Divya, I will just park your question there because I am in whiteboard right now. So I will explain this and then I will answer that. Okay. So Piyush is saying, please repeat it. I will repeat that. Snehal is saying, means it refer to the memory space. Snehal, uh, yes, partially yes. Okay. It is more about identity. So the architecture level is little different, and that is why if you see right, I removed calling it as address because it is not actually going till the address. So what happens? There is a layer in between. There is a layer in between. When you check is operator, it checks the identity of A and B. And identity is not address actually. And because it is not address, I am not saying it is a memory space, right? So there is a layer in between. That layer is mapping the identity and memory space. So that is a architecture level discussion, right? So that is why I simply cut that. I will not call it as address anymore.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So let me explain this once again. Now after this ID and is operator is done, ID function is done, there is something very special coming for you all, right? Which is very interesting and a very good interview question also. So I am saying that in my memory, when I say A is equal to 10, right, or B is equal to 10, so 10 is the integer object getting created. So when I say it is getting created, that is a wrong statement actually. I will prove myself wrong after a few minutes. Okay. So integer is there, integer 10 object is there. Okay. It has three things associated with it. One is the object value, one is the object identity. There will be some hexa or a number or something like that here, right? And all the references here. So A is referring to it, so A will be here. B is referring to it, B will be here. Now, when I say, when I want to first compare the values. What are the values? 10. Both the values are 10. So I will say A double equal to B. The answer will be true, right? Second, if I want to compare the identities, then I will say A is B. Answer is true. If I say afterwards that B is equal to 20, now it is referring to somewhere else. After that, again I say if A is B, answer will be false. Why? Because now B is referring to somewhere else. So both cannot have same identity because there will be another block of memory which will having 20 and it will be having different identity. So now B is referring to that identity. Okay, so this is the identity check. For that we use is operator.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, A and B both differ variable.
A and B both
Different variables, sir.
different variables, yes.
But A is B. A B कैसे हो सकता है सर?
Because they see is operator is checking the identity of A and B. So A is referring to this location, right? यहाँ पर अगर आप देखोगे, so A को मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ ना कि A इसको रिफर कर रहा है. So A इसको रिफर कर रहा है तो A की आइडेंटिटी क्या बन जाएगी? ये आइडेंटिटी जो है वो बन जाएगी A की. B भी इसको रिफर कर रहा है तो B की आइडेंटिटी भी यही बन जाएगी. और is ऑपरेटर क्या करता है? वो आइडेंटिटी को चेक करता है. ये मैं प्रोग्रामेटिकली प्रूफ करूंगा आपको, अभी तो सिर्फ थ्योरेटिकली बता रहा हूँ. प्रोग्रामेटिकली मैं आपको इसकी आइडेंटिटी भी प्रिंट करके दिखाऊंगा कि ए एंड बी की आइडेंटिटी सेम है.
ओके
तो,
सर.
क्योंकि ए और बी की आइडेंटिटी को इज चेक करता है और दोनों एक ही जगह को बिलोंग कर रहे हैं, इसलिए इसका आंसर ट्रू आएगा. ओके. इफ if more people are getting doubt on this, in this complete process, what I will say, just wait for 2 more minutes. Okay, I will not erase this diagram right now. I will go back and share my ideally. Let me give you few examples programmatically that may answer all the questions which is coming on this. Okay, just hold on your doubts for a few minutes. Let me explain this to you. A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 10. This is what we are talking theoretically, right? Now, if I say A double equal to B, it is actually checking the value. Both are having 10 value, that is fine. When I say A is B, that is also true. Why? Because if I check the ID, there is a function with name ID which gives me the ID of A. Okay, so ID of A is this. If you see, ID of A is printed there. Again, if I print ID of B, if you see, both the IDs are same. Both the IDs are same. Because of this, this is operator is returning me true. And the moment I say B is equal to 20, right, and then I say A is B, then the answer will be false. Why? Because the ID of B now will be very different from A. If you see, A is having this ID and now B is having this ID. Why the ID of B is changed? Because now B started pointing to 20 or started referring to 20. Okay. Now let me go back to chat window.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Sir, it means,
Yeah, yeah,
hello, sir.
yeah. Go ahead.
So it means if two variables or more variables have same value, it has same identity.
Yes, you can write 1,000 variables which is having value 10. There are like A, B, C, D, E, F till Z, and there are more 1,000 variables which are having value 10. All will have the same identity.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So Manisha was asking how would define the identity. So you will not define the identity, Manisha. First of all, system will define the identity. You can read that by using the ID function as I have shown on the screen. Okay, and Priya is saying if A is B is true, then A is equal to B is should be true. Yes, vice versa also. Vice versa is not possible, Priya. It is not always like that. So, Priya, your question is very valid, and actually, your question is valid for half of the scenario and not for half of the scenario. So, there in our future topics, we will be learning about a design pattern known as singleton. So, after teaching you singleton design pattern, I will be teaching you the architecture inside the Python build, how internally it store the data and all, right? And then you will see that your statement is true only for half of the value and other half of the value it is not true. Okay, so I will say, Priya, I cannot answer your question completely right now. But once I teach you singleton design pattern and internal architecture of memory storage, right, that is part of our course which I will be teaching maybe today or tomorrow. So then that question will be getting answered completely. Okay. And in how many ways we can identify, we can define identity. So Manisha, okay, I already answered that. Yes, Manisha, I will be giving you some more operator examples. First I was just explaining you the topic. I will be giving more example. Yeah, it is important. Okay, so let's see some more examples here of is operator. There are some more chat coming on, so I'm taking a pause of reading chat right now. Let me give you some more examples here. So we have seen A is B and not, right? For example, if I say string S is equal to ethans, it is a string, right? If I say S1 is equal to ethans again, the same value. I'm giving the same string value to S and S1, right? Let me check the ID of S. This. Let me check the ID of S1. Can you see? Both is having the same ID. In that case, if I say S is S1, what will be the answer? True. But for a moment, if I say S2, a new string getting created with capital E at place, Now, as it is a case sensitive, right, the ID of S2 will be very different from ID of S and S1, what we have discussed in above. Now, if you see S is S2, answer will be false. Okay, so it is not only with numbers. This operator will work similarly for a string also. Okay, now just opposite of it. If I say opposite of it means it can be clubbed with a not operator also. For example, I am saying A is B. It is false right now because B is pointing to 20. Let me write B is equal to 10. Now, if I check ID of uh, A, and then if I check ID of B, so right now this is the scenario. Okay, take this example. A is B. It was coming false earlier. Now I changed B is equal to 10. Now it is like ID of A and ID of B both is same, right? Now if I say A is B, what will be the answer? It will be true. But if I say A is not B, then answer will be false. So there is a not operator which can be clubbed with is. Okay. So is A is B or A is not B. Both the ways it is possible. Now I will not be able to give you uh, a bigger example because these things will be getting used in for loop. It will be getting used in if conditions. So what happens when we talk about looping and conditioning, you will see that is operator is getting used there multiple times. Right now at this moment when we are learning basic of the pythons and operators, you just make a point and make it clear to in your mind that is operator is checking the identity. And how to check the identity, we have the id function for that. Okay, if you are clear with these two things, it is enough. More examples will come into picture when we teach you uh, if condition, else condition, looping, for loop, while loop. When we teach you, then you will see that more options is coming like that. Okay, so
Sir, what is the use except double equal a comparison operator?
sorry, come again.
Sir, each is not. They are equal to double equal and not equal to.
Hmm.
Except it check identity and comparison operator check values.
Hmm.
What is difference between both? Except checking identity or value.
Yeah, you will get your answer. You will get your answer, but not right now, because right now you are learning very basic of it. So because of that, you are thinking that it will not be giving you any difference there, right? But there is a design pattern which is playing a role there actually, singleton design pattern, and that I will explain. And the moment I explain that, you will understand that what is the difference between these two. Okay. So right now, if you're understanding that double equal to is comparing values and is comparing identity, that is enough for now. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So few more examples here, because after that operator precedence will come into picture. Let me find a image of operator precedence very quickly for your batch. Hmm, did I keep it somewhere? Ethan's Python. Just give me a second. I had operator. Okay, I got it. Uh, yeah, so let's see some more example. For example, x is equal to 10, right? So what is id of x? There will be some id of x. Definitely some value of x is also there. Id of x will be there, right? Now I say x plus is equal to 1. What is happening? X is not 10 anymore. X is not 10 anymore. In other languages, x will not lose its address because it's an you will say that it's an object, it will not lose its address. But in this case, in python, that is not the case. X was 10 earlier. 10 was the integer object. X was simply referring to it, right? So the address which you are getting when you print id of x, that is 10's address. Now x is pointing to 11 now. So id of x will change, right? Id of x will change now. Why? Because now x is pointing to 11. It is not pointing to 10 anymore. Okay, so take care of this. Do not think that if you once created a variable, it will always have the same address. No, it in its life or its in journey, the variable when it changes its value, its identity also will change. Okay, take a note of it. Remember this. Do not always confuse yourself that once I created a variable, its address will remain same always. No, it is not the case with Python. Okay, it will have always, it will keep moving on with its value. Fine. Now, after that, there is one more function, that is instance function. Is instance. Okay. This is a function. Now, from after teaching you object-oriented terms, I told you that integer. When I say 10, 10 is an object of integer class. 10.5 is an object of float class, or string. Ethans is an object of string class. Now this is the time I prove that to you, right? So for that we use isInstance method. So for example, what this method is doing actually, right? If I write it in a normal English language, I am saying that number 10 is instance of integer. Now you will say that this statement is true or not. It is true, right? It is true because 10 is an instance of integer, right? uh, just one confirmation I need, guys, because I am sharing on the shell terminal with you all. Are you able to see uh, the content which I am writing through my pen?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, okay, fine, thank you very much. So 10 is an instance of integer, which is true. When I if I say 10.5 is instance of float, again it is true, right? So this is in normal English I am writing it. But if I want to write it programmatically, how I will write? I will say is instance is a function. In this function, you have to pass two things. First, which object you want to check? 10. And which class you want to verify if it belongs to integer or not? Integer. Then it will result you true or false. Similarly, here also there is a function like is instance. You'll say 10.5, it belongs to float. It will tell you it is true or not. So from that you will understand. Right now you will be feeling very silly, right? I'm telling you, people who are let me take a pause here from this teaching. Let me give you some gyan kind of thing, right? Normally what happens, because I was also confused when I was teaching my first or second batch, right? People start asking me कि मनप्रीत ये हम पढ़ लिए but इसका यूज समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, ये कहाँ यूज होगा? Then all of a sudden what I do, मैं ये पढ़ाने के बाद उनको प्रोग्राम्स लिख के दिखाने लग जाता था कि देखो ये यहाँ पर यूज होगा, right? And after teaching 2 3 batches, I was like, no, that is the wrong way of doing it, and that is a wrong question at that moment itself, right? Why? Because if I'm teaching you the basics, right, compare it with English language. When you go to learn English language from any trainer, or if you're an English teacher, right, does they teach you to write essay or paragraph on the day one? No, right? They teach you alphabets, A to Z. They teach you, and at that moment, if you ask them that what is the use of A, B, C, D, E, F, I am learning from you. What is the use of it? I'm not using it anywhere. And after few months, when you write an essay, right, or a paragraph, you actually use those alphabets to write a sentence or a word, right? So what happens similarly in Python? I'm teaching you the very basic building blocks, right? Like these data types, these methods. What happens if I teach you these basics right now? When we use it in future, in our future classes, maybe on our fifth or sixth classes, when we start writing programs, right? Then you will see me using all these things very frequently, Then you will understand, okay, कि हमने जो basics में पढ़ा है वो अब use हो रहा है. But right now, if I write a program to explain each and every basic which we are learning, that will not be possible, and that is not a good thing to do. So you compare it with any other language you have learned in your past. So compare that with, you are learning alphabets right now, right? Writing a passage or writing an essay is a part of, after you learn alphabets, word formation, understanding the meaning of word, sentence formation, then the grammar behind it, right? All the tense and nouns, pronouns, everything. Once you complete with the grammar, then you come to write an essay, right? Similarly, in Python also, it will not, writing essay or writing a 100 line of program on a day one will not be happening. So I have done that mistake in many old batches, that I start writing a program to explain कि देखो ये is instance कैसे use हो सकता है. But that is not happening now in these batches. So these are the building blocks. Just understand the meaning of it and wait for the day to come where we start using all this. Okay, fine. So coming back to our learning, there's some chat coming on. There are multiple chats actually. Right. Yeah. So Snehal has given a code: A is equal to 10, B is equal to 10, A is equal to 20, A is B, false, A is equal to 20. So, Snehal, your code, what you have written, the output is definitely correct, because in the first case, A was 10, B was 10, and then again you changed A is equal to 20. So B is 10, A is 20, A is B will be false. Then you changed A is equal to 20, and then you changed B is equal to 10. Again, in that case, A and B is different. So it will again be false. Right, so whatever output you got is correct, but if you have some confusion, let me know. Then I'm coming to Manisha's comment: does it act like a pointer? Manisha, in pointers, um I will not say it is acting like a pointer, it is acting like a reference. A is referring to 10. I will never say A is pointing to 10, right? Because um, programmatically, that is not pointing there. It is referring to it. Okay. So yeah, in English maybe these two have similar kind of meaning, but in programming language, you very well understand pointing and referring. These are very different concepts, right? So I will say it is not pointing to 10, it is referring to 10. And give me some more time, and I will allow you that how singleton method work there to help us. Okay, fine. So this is the is instance method theory. Let me erase it and give you some examples on it. So mm, some example of is instance. For example, I say is instance 1 of integer. Answer will be true, because 1 is an integer actually, right? If I say is instance 1 is a float, I will get false, because 1 is not float. But the moment I write is instance 1.0 is float, it is true. Right now you will be thinking that this is so silly. I know 1 is integer, but think of a situation where you are reading data from an API and you don't know what kind of data is coming into your hand. How you will know what is the data type of that? Right? Now you will say that I will use the print function and I will print the type of it. I'm saying that your application is running in cloud. You cannot go and check what is the output in print and change your program every time when something new is coming. So you have to write a dynamic program in such cases, right? Where you don't know what is the return from API. So in such cases, this method will play a good role actually, because this is the object. What you're passing on the left hand side is an object. What you're passing on the right hand side is a class. Okay, so if I say is instance, this is my string with name Ethan's, and it is belonging to which class? string class is true, right? So on the left hand side you are writing the actual object, on the right hand side you are writing the class. If I write the theory of it, it is like the syntax of is instance. Here you pass the object and then you pass the class. Okay, this is the syntax. Now um, you can play with it. You can play with this instance with multiple values here, like 100, 200 decimal values, complex values, right, and the string values, other things you can play around it. Now as we have completed multiple operators right now, right, there is a operator precedence always. You might have learned operator precedence in your college or school. So there are multiple operators, right? And many of these operators we have not learned right now. Maybe we will learn in our coming classes. But operator precedence is something like Bodmas rule, right? If you do something in mathematics, Bodmas rule says like division will be done for the first, and then multiplication, and then addition, right? Then subtraction, and before that, if there is a bracket, that bracket will be solved first, right? Similarly, we have operator precedence and associativity in programming language also. If you see here, this is the sequence. If many operators is coming in the same line, right? So which will be executed at first and which will be executed second? So this is the sequence. So I will be sharing this file with you all. Okay, there is some chat coming in. Shall I say that ease performs assignment of a reference from one variable to another? No. Ease is comparison. There is no assignment happening in case of ease. Assignment was already done. When you say a is equal to 10, all kind of assignment is already completed. Okay. Ease is a comparison operator. Comparison of identity. There is no assignment happening in case of ease. Uh, is instance is used to check the data type or class. Both are same, Snehal. A data type or class means a class itself defines which data type it is. So it is actually technically it is used to know the class, because if in future you have your own class, for example, I create a class with name is Snehal, right, and I create a object out of it. So is instance will be able to tell me the object and class for that also. So it not only because we are learning data type right now and using this example, so you are thinking in that way, but is instance is always get used to know the class. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So this is operator precedence, and I do not remember it. Means there are people, maybe freshers, who will feel like we should remember, we should learn it, right? No, you should not learn it. Take a copy. I will share a copy of it in Google Classroom. Just look at it and leave it. There's no need to learn this operator precedence. Why? Because if I go back to my Python shell, right? If I write something like a is equal to 2 multiplied by 3 plus 4 5 minus 100 divided by 20, right, and I check the value of a, it is 6.0. So interpreter is remembering the sequence and operators precedence for me, right? Then why I have to remember that, right? So have a general idea about it, that what is operator precedence in Python. That's all. There's no need to mug it up and remember anything like that. Okay, so that's all about operators with numbers. Now the next topic which we will be talking about is design pattern, and I think if I start it now, it will be taking me next 20 minutes to explain you the singleton design pattern, and then next 20 minutes to tell you that how identity and how storage works in Python, right? I don't think that is it is a good time to start right now. Okay, Manisha is saying, Manpreet, how would I get the result of is, since we are using shell, we are getting answer, but how it will be used in PyCharm? Yeah, it will be used like that only. See, How it will be used in PyCharm and Anaconda is part of the course, Manisha. Okay. Right now, see, many doubts which people are asking is ahead of us, right? How it will be used in PyCharm and Anaconda is part of the course. We will be discussing that. Right now, when I use shell to teach you, I'm only using that to teach you what is operator doing. That's all. Don't think very ahead of it. Okay, we will be doing that in coming classes. So, okay, guys, that will be end of today's session. Let me share the where is my shell? Yeah. So this will be end of today. Uh, and what is next class? Do not miss the next class because we will be talking about design pattern. We will be talking about singleton design pattern plus uh, how internal how internally it stores the data or memory, right? This is important. Why? Because if you see, there was a question from someone, I don't remember the name now. She was asking if is and equal to will always give us the same result. That is not true. And it is very important for you to understand that how things are getting stored internally, right? Is and equal to right now, because you're dealing with small numbers like 10, 11, 15, something like that, it is behaving similarly. But tomorrow when I explain you singleton design pattern and how it helps memory and storage in Python, you will understand it clearly that a small value or bigger value, it does not matter. There is a concept behind it, that how it is getting stored does not matter, because how 10 is getting stored, similarly 10,000 also will get stored, right? So the architecture will not change for bigger value or small value. So what we will focus on tomorrow is, like, we have learned about is operator, identity function, and other things today, but how actually it is happening in memory, right? That we will see with singleton design pattern tomorrow. So that is all, guys. That is all from my side today. I have more chats coming in. Mm, yes. So Manisha, yes. Let me write it down here. Yes, we can store. We can store any result, whatever we have learned till today, right? So everything is possible to store. For example, I say R is equal to A is B, and then I print R, it is giving me false. So whatever the result of A is B was coming, it can be stored in a variable. And not only this is operator, every operator which we have learned till today's class, right? Whatever result is coming can be stored. Okay, for example, if I say that R is equal to is instance, one is integer or not. Sorry, I think a spelling mistake there. R is equal to is instance, one is integer or not. R will be storing the result true. Okay, so every operator and function whatever we have learned today, its result can be stored. And Sandeep was saying, yeah, it is possible. Yeah, it is possible. Okay, fine, guys. The next topic is little bigger actually. So if I start it now, it will be going till 10 o'clock. So I don't want to disturb people who are already working in organization. So that's all for today. I will upload the file and video in few minutes now, and let's meet tomorrow. Do not miss tomorrow's class. It is important for everyone. Important topic tomorrow. Okay. So I will stop sharing now, and I will be here for next 2 to 3 minutes if you have any doubt, or else we are done for today.
Hello, sir. How save this file as a Python?
How to store that file as Python? Yeah, just one second. I will share my screen once again. Okay. So this is the file, right? So you have to go here, file, and if you see, there are multiple options: save as, save, and you can save it as a Python file afterwards. Okay. For example, in
Yes.
your case, like I will
When
be
I
saving it
open
right.
this like a text file.
Yeah. So I'll just share it in your batch. See, we are on fourth class today, right? So here I'll say day 4 class file. You have multiple options here like Python file, text file. So I will store it as a Python file. Okay. And that's all. I click on save, it is saved. Okay.
Yeah, Manpreet, how do you store it in MacBook terminal? Similar, because I'm not able to see the file edit and all those functions
In
now.
MacBook, uh, I'm just thinking. So I have not done it because I use Windows always. So, but I have to think. I have to check. I have a MacBook also. I have to check in that. So can I answer
Okay.
this tomorrow? So
Yeah, yeah.
I'll also show
Okay.
you that for every batch, for your batch also, I have a doubt file. So there is one doubt asked yesterday, which is noted, right? And bitwise operator is something I always teach at the end of the batch because no one understands bitwise operator. I don't want to confuse people, so I always keep it for the end of the batch. So in this file itself, I will write ideally session store in MacBook. You will be using terminal actually, right? You will not be using ideally actually. You'll be using the
Right.
terminal, and you
Right.
start your, for example, just by writing Python 3, you start the session, right?
Yes. 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 I'm doing that already. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know how to save it, so I'm not saving it because you're giving me all like the same
Yeah,
sessions.
yeah.
So I'm not. But in future, if I require to save it, I'll need it.
Okay, I will find a way of. I have never done that before, so I'll find a way of doing it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So anything else, guys?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manpreet Govind here.
Yeah, going.
Yeah. Actually, the thing is that I'm not at all from an any IT background, so
Uh-huh.
I'm find it little difficult as it now to cope up.
Mhm.
So, will you suggest me anything so that I can practice it?
Yeah. So what I will suggest is uh, what a basic mistake everyone does, right?
Mm-hmm.
If someone is coming from non-IT background, they feel like we are not able to match the pace in which
Yeah, yeah.
I'm teaching, right? So you will feel it. Definitely, it is a good thing to have also.
Yeah.
And what a normal mistake people do, they start referring to online materials and videos to
Mm-hmm.
rectify this problem. They think
Okay.
like if I read something more online, I will be able to understand what Manpreet is teaching, right? That is
Mm-hmm.
not true actually. The first thing which is good you have done, that you told me that you are for you the pace is little faster, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What I will suggest, each and every topic whatever we have learned till today, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you see even the numbers, we started with numbers,
Yeah.
एंड उस नंबर्स में हम लोगों ने कुछ ऑपरेटर्स देखे हैं, और
Mm-hmm.
ऑपरेटर्स कैसे अब आप देखोगे ऑपरेटर वाइज अगर आप समझने की कोशिश करोगे तो बहुत बेसिक चीज़ें हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं अभी,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
राइट?
Yeah.
सो you revise that thing itself whatever we have learned in the class,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay,
Okay.
and
Okay.
practice it multiple times, okay.
Mm.
Do not
Okay.
only watch video and the file which I am sharing, write your own code in ideally.
Okay.
You will learn only by making mistakes. Okay, otherwise
Okay.
there is no other way to learn Python until you start hitting your keyboard, right? There
Mm-hmm.
is no other way to learn it. So I
Okay.
will say, do not go anywhere else. Just practice
Mm.
whatever we have taught you in the session, and practice it
Okay. Sure.
multiple times. Uh, and you will not feel the same in coming Monday. Why? Because in
Okay.
between you will be getting a weekend. So
Right. Two
for
days.
for
Yeah.
people for people like you who is not coming from IT background, right? Because if you see, as I told you that tomorrow I'll be teaching you design pattern, singleton design pattern, right? If
Yeah.
you see the other person, people in this batch who are already working in IT company or other programming languages, Java and all, they will
Mm-hmm.
feel like that why Manpreet is teaching so basic things,
Okay.
that how
Okay.
memory is getting stored. I am teaching this for your kind of people who is from
Right.
non-IT.
Right. Right.
right? So when you get 2 days free time in between in weekend, you will
Mhm.
be able to match whatever we have covered in the last class.
Okay.
Okay, and then this Friday you will be getting multiple assignments also. So
Oh,
what happens on the
nice.
weekend, you will get multiple chance to practice everything.
Okay.
Okay, so don't worry. I will just
Okay.
suggest practice only what we have learned. Do not go anywhere else because you have already registered here, paid a amount
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
to learn from us,
Mm.
right? So
Yes. Yes.
I will suggest just practice whatever we have learned and go ahead of it.
Okay. Sure. Will do.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure who is admin 101048. Same for me too. I am saying that same for you means you will be saying about you're not from IT background, right? Do not worry. Anyone who is not from IT background, just concentrate on what we are teaching and practice only that. Do not practice or learn anything new over the weekend. Otherwise, Monday also will be a problematic day for you, right? So that's all, guys. Then, if there is no further doubt, I'll close the session. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.